Talking snakes. The fall of man. The introduction of sin. Eve, then Adam, being seduced by power and giving in to the same temptation as Satan. People, when trying to critique the Bible, almost always have something prideful and arrogant to say about these concepts. I'm not talking to them. I'm speaking to those of you who understand that prior to the fall of man, our existence was very, very different. For example, they were naked and didn't know it. They actually spoke to and walked with the Most High. Instead of saying, "Hey Siri," they could say, "Hey Father." Their only task was to tend to the garden, be fruitful, and multiply. That sounds like a primo lifestyle to me. Adam was even made in the image and likeness of the Most High. So he was a perfect creation, like Satan. And like Satan, being created by the Most High came with a particular caveat, and that is free will. The most sacred and misunderstood power on earth. Free will allows us to design and personalize our entire existence. So, with free will comes great responsibility. But when free will is co-opted or manipulated, as was the case in the garden, it can become a curse. Many men smarter than I have suggested free will is an illusion, and that man, like animals, only act through the nature of the human condition. In other words, we live only by instincts to survive. This notion is both lazy and grossly inaccurate. The truth is, we do have free will, and it has been manipulated by a world ran by demons, devils, people who claim to bring order out of chaos, but are actually doing just the opposite. For example, one could consider space chaotic, but I'd argue space is divine order, only made chaotic by man's interpretation of order. You understand what that means? Anyway, that's an argument for another day. What I'm getting at here is sin and how it envelops us on every level, every day, and in every way. John 4:24 says to worship the Most High in spirit and in truth. Beautiful and harmonious requests, only made difficult by our flesh. You see, worshiping in spirit has nothing to do with your actions as much as it has to do with your intent. And worshiping in truth should be self-explanatory. Yet, again, none of this is possible without free will. Without free will, there can be no conviction for sin. And all fleshly sins are not created equal. For example, pride can be the overriding sin that opens the door to many other sins. But understand this completely. All sins start as a suggestion to the spirit to appease something in the flesh. All sins start as a suggestion to the spirit to appease something in the flesh. Adam and Eve's sin seduced them in the spirit to appease covetousness. The same covetousness that consumed the enemy. They wanted to be like the Most High. Some of us suffer from this same disease, even going as far as to claim there is no God. Yet here you are. Some even believe we are gods, but can't even beat a speeding ticket. The truth is, we are supposed to be subject to the Most High, subject to truth, and conveyors of His word, living, breathing examples of the Most High's ideas for mankind. Yet sin lies in wait for our fallible nature, the weakness of our flesh. When Satan attacked Job, what did he go after? His family, his wealth, and his health. Now, to be sure, all of these things can affect his spirit, but all of these things are still fleshly things. And Job chose to stay anchored in the Most High. Yeah. As much as we love our family and friends, they are still of the flesh. When the Most High is first, that becomes much easier to understand. You see, the enemy wants you to put any and everything in front of the Most High. The world urges you to put everything in front of the Most High. The world, or Satan, they're interchangeable, wants you to care about what your friends think more than you care about what the Most High thinks. And we do. Yes, we do. You see, Satan didn't understand the spirit of Job or Yeshua, a human who had no spiritual ties to the flesh. He has no power over those who have no spiritual ties to fleshly things, whether that be material, sexual, hunger, power, or religion. We will never defeat the enemy if we cling to the flesh. We first have to know and truly love the Most High and make that our foundation. We must espouse, seek, and speak the truth, using our spirit to guide us. You have to be quiet and listen, and make sure your decisions have no basis in fleshly wants or desires. You have to be certain the Most High will take care of those things. It's not easy, but it's certainly not as difficult as we think it is. You see, just like these corrupt lawyers, all Satan tries to do is create the slightest doubt. Once this happens, it won't be long before we fall. And fear is his number one tool. And he uses fear to elicit all other negative thoughts, such as hate. Hate is actually a byproduct of fear, not the other way around. And getting back to materialism, this world created materialism from its conception. But in the latter part of the 19th century, materialism was put on steroids by the industrial age. This would catapult us into the days of Noah. Our only real needs have and will always be food, shelter, clothing, and love. But these things too have become materialized. So fear is not natural. Our fears are based on illusions, plastic ideas of who we are, what we are, and how that plays out in this world. Some of us dedicate our lives to the Most High, secretly hoping for some sort of monetary reward, some sort of holy prize that we can show off to our family and friends. But the Most High is not a banker. Separate the flesh from the spirit. Understand the difference between wants and needs. A lot of us get these concepts confused, but they're as different as the spirit is to flesh. At the end of the day, this is about avoiding the traps set down by the enemy, who tries to use your flesh against you. The thing is, he can't corrupt you without your help. He has to convince you that you need that steak more than you need prayer. You need that 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath crib more than you need grace. You need that Kim Kardashian lifestyle more than you need salvation. I'm telling y'all, it's all a scam. All of it. Oh. And by the way, do you want to know what worshiping in truth looks like? Well, here it is. Peace.